In this video, we're gonna talk about how to apply for a South Korea tourist visa. 안녕하세요, 친구. 여러분, 지입니다. 나는 Untitled Philippines의 블로거입니다. Yes, guys, I was able to get an approved South Korea tourist visa, and supposedly for the month of April and like maybe until June or July. Our content here, our videos here in this channel is supposed to be all about South Korea, from foods, tourist spots, cherry blossoms, and more about South Korea, specifically Seoul. But
Coronavirus!
So before tayo mag-start, let me just share some information about me. Para in case same tayo ng situation, ng circumstances, then you can relate and you can use this information that I will be sharing to you guys. Confident kayo mag-apply ng tourist visa sa South Korea. One, guys, is I am a freelancer. I work at home. I am a digital nomad. That's why I can travel anytime, anywhere. Pero kailangan lang na may access ako sa internet at saka dala-dala ko yung laptop ko. I have no stable income. Just like now, nawalan ako ng clients. So, mas lesser yung income ko right now. Pero may income pa rin, pero lesser than compared than few months ago before all this coronavirus going on sa buong bansa, sa buong world na nangyayari ngayon. So, mas lesser income ko ngayon kasi noon. Posible din na baka bukas o next week or next month mas mataas. Magiging mataas kaysa ngayon. I've been actually traveling since I was a kid dito sa Pilipinas. I've been to Hong Kong when I was 10. But, hindi yan magmamatter kung nung bata ka pa, nung mali ka pa, nakapagdakwatsa ka. Hindi yan magmamatter sa pag-apply ng kahit anong visa. Just like for this tourist visa application, ang hinihingi nila ng history mo na travel is 5 years. So, dun sa pag-apply ko sa US tourist visa, they first asked me for the past 5 years, and I said no. And then they asked me how about for the past 10 years. So they just expand if they really wanna approve you, but dahil hindi ako lumaga ng labas-lamansa for that past 10 years, na-denied ako sa tourist visa. So I suggest na bago kayo mag-apply ng mga countries na need ng visa, like Japan, Korea, US, pumunta muna kayo ng bansa na walang hinihingi sa atin na visa. Like for example, ng Hong Kong at saka Singapore. If you wanna know my top 5 recommendations na country na bisitahin mo bago ka mag-apply ng visa or ng visa ng any countries, I suggest you read this blog post that I have on my blog para pag-end itong coronavirus, punta mo na kayo sa bansa na doon. So, ang mga napuntahan ko na bansa for the past 5 years is yung Hong Kong. Nung pumunta kami sa China, napaka-easy lang ng China, pero sa nangyayari ngayon, huwag muna kayo pumunta sa China. And lastly, I am a travel blogger. Blog ko mismo, ng mga areas sa exoticphilippines.info. Doon ko nilagay noon pa yung mga napuntahan ko dito sa Pilipinas, yung mga tourist spots, yung mga tips. So now, let's talk about how I applied for a South Korea tourist visa. So let's talk about first the requirements. Once you finish all the requirements, you are most likely good to go and submit your requirements to the South Korea Embassy near you or through an agency. In your case, maybe, kasi ako nandito ako sa Cebu, so pumunta na ako sa South Korea embassies dito sa Cebu, sa May Ayala. Sinabmit ko personally yung documents na required nila. So, anong mga requirements nila? Ito yung binigay sa akin sa pagpunta ko doon. So, these are officially the list of documents that they require you to submit. The first one is, of course, the tourist visa application form. Kung gusto nyo malaman how to fill this out, please wait for my next video, which I will share next week, on how to fill out this form. Pero napakadali lang ito, guys. Just share your information. Just simply put the information that is asked. So, mga format sila, just follow it. But if I'm done with the video, I'll put it right there or just put it in the comment section down below o sa description ng video na to. Second requirement is a passport size photo. Pumunta ako sa photo studio na naka-t-shirt lang. The photographer said that they can help me through editing and adding a color or the formal attire on the photo. I just have to add 50 pesos. If you don't have a blazer or formal attire or yung may kwelyo, I suggest you find a photo studio na ganon. But if meron naman kayong may kwelyo, I suggest na dalhin nyo o suotin nyo na lang sa araw na magpapapicture kayo. At baka natutaka kayo kung anong itsura ko sa picture. Ito yun. Napakababoy. pangit mo tayo, umalis ka. And then, of course, your passport. Make sure na 6 months valid at least yung passport mo. Kung in 6 months may expired na yung passport mo, I suggest you renew it now. Kung wala na space na pwedeng matatahan, I suggest you renew it now. If damage yung passport nyo, sa loob ng passport niyo, lalo na yung information page, yung bio page, kung saan nakalagay yung mukha nyo, yung pangalan nyo, edad, birthday, I suggest you renew it right away. Pero if yung dito lang medyo nawala na yung kulay or yung color, okay lang yan as long as intact yung nasa loob ng passport mo. And next is the photocopy of your bio page. Ang ganito ang kamukha ng bio page mo. Sa akin, nag-submit ako ng colored na photocopy. Meron na yan, guys. But the black and white will be just fine. Again, okay lang pag black and white. Wala lang. Trip ko lang magsabit ng colored. Next is the photocopy of your OECD countries for the past 5 years na meron ka. For example, if may US visa ka, kasama yan ng OECD countries. I-photocopy mo yung visa na nasa passport mo na meron ka at isama yung page na natatakan. Next, guys, is your Certificate of Employment o COE. Pag empleyado kayo ng isang kumpanya, like call center kayo, or kahit anong trabaho nyo, humingi kayo sa company na COE. Make sure naka-state doon yung date hired, position ninyo sa company, at saka compensation o yung sweldo ninyo. Sa mga freelancer na kagaya ko, pwede pa rin tayong humingi nito sa mga boss natin o sa mga clients natin. Usually, cool naman sila nito. Sa akin, humingi ako sa local client ko. Showing na may local client ako dito, nakakontrata ako sa isang kumpanya nandito sa Pilipinas. So, kailangan ko talagang umuwi kasi nakakontrata ako sa kanila. So, yan ang nagiging strong ties ko dito sa Pilipinas. Next is your bank certificate at saka bank statement. Ano pagkakaiba ng dalawang to? Ang bank certificate is actually a certificate from your bank na may account ka talaga doon kung kailan nag-open ng account mo at marami pang ibang information. Napakaikli lang, 1 page lang na paper. And they will actually put your total balance na nasa account para na nag-request ka ng bank certificate. Yung bank statement, on the other hand, doon nakalagay yung mga recent transactions mo for the past 3 months. So, makikita nila na nag-withdraw ka, deposit, nag-withdraw, deposit, withdraw, zero balance. Malalaman nila kung nag-deposit ka lang dahil gusto mo ipakita na may pera ka kahit wala naman kasi nag-utang ka sa kapitbahay mo, sa kuya mo, sa kapatid mo, sa lola mo, sa mama mo. Kaya, wag na kayo manloko, guys. Pero baka tanongin nyo, what if 15,000 o 20,000 lang ang nasa bank account ko pero malaki ang sweldo ko? Actually, guys, malalaman nila kasi yung, of course, yung certificate of employment mo, malalaman lang ng sweldo mo at saka makikita nila sa for the past 3 months na transaction na nag-deposit yung employer mo sa bank account mo at saka hindi. Tsaka may mga narinig ako nag-share sa akin ng information na na-approve sila kahit 20,000 lang nasa bank nila but with a huge average daily balance. Meron ding maraki ang average daily balance like 50,000 pero na-deny din sila. Hindi talaga natin alam. Mayroon silang sariling churva-churvaness na ginagawa para malaman na hindi mo kayang gumastos pag doon ka na sa Korea o hindi o they think twice to give you a visa baka kasi magiging TNT ka lamang doon. Next is your photocopy of your PRC or IBP card. And then if you are being invited o inimbita kayo ng isang Korean boyfriend o ng isang Korean company na pumunta doon sa South Korea, ask them to help you by writing a letter of invitation. Korean ang nag-invite sa'yo. Should also include their passport or photocopy, I guess, of their passport. Or if yung isang business or isang business na based sa South Korea ang nag-invite sa'yo, they should provide their business permit and give it to you para i-submit mo. And last is, of course, yung problema ng mga freelancers is ITR. Guys, if you don't have yet an ITR or you're missing any one of these documents or wala kayong ma-submit ng kahit isang documents, like example, wala kayong COE, ITR, you can write a letter of explanation stating why or sabihin sa letter na yon kung bakit wala kayo nito na document o hindi kayo makapag-submit na document na to. Example, ITR. Now, for those who are looking for a sample letter of resignation, I have it on my blog. Check this out. I have it there. You can copy the document and then edit it for your own. Please lang, huwag niyong i-copy at saka print kasi So just use the sample para magka-idea kayo kung paano magsulat, paano ako na-explain sa South Korea Embassy na hindi ako makasubmit ng ITR. Yes guys, natapos ko yan in 1 week. Actually, you can finish it in 5 days. First day is nagpa-sign ako ng COE. Then on that same day, sa umaga kasi ako nagpa-sign sa hapon, humingi ako ng bank certificate at saka bank statement. Pumunta ako sa branch na nag-open ako ng account. Huwag kang pumunta ka ng kahit anong branches ng bank mo. Pumunta ka sa branch kung saan ka nag-open ng bank account. That's why na kahit may Metro Bank dito sa Lapu-Lapu, pumunta talaga ako ng Cebu City kasi doon ako sa Cebu City nag-open ng account, ng bank account sa Metro Bank. So doon ako kumuha ng bank statement at saka bank certificate. And the rest is actually you can finish it in a day kasi I will be providing it to you guys para madali lang at makakaya nyo na gawin ninyo ito ng kayo lang. So wala akong mapakita na hawak-hawak ko dito guys na document kasi print ko na lahat. At saka yung mga certificate statement, saka letter, isang copy lang ang hiningi ko at saka binigay ko na doon sa embassy. Pero i-make sure niyo na A4 size ninyo ma-print, yung application form, yung letters ninyo, yung COE, yung bank certificate at bank statement. I think usually A4 ang ginagamit nila. Pero if not, as long as coming from the bank, okay lang yun. Remember, A4 size, hindi short, hindi long, kundi A4 size. What if kompleto mo na yung documents, meron ka ng COE, ITR, meron ka ng letter, meron ka ng application form, meron na lahat, nakapapicture ka na, at ready ka na mag-submit ng application mo. So, para sa mga taga Luzon or non-Cebu based at gusto lamang sumamit through travel agencies, all you have to do is just go to the travel agency, submit these documents. Meron silang charges, depende sa travel agency. So, I've heard some agencies charges 500, 800, 1,000, depende siguro sa kanila. But as for me, ang gasto ko lamang is yung fare going back and forth. At saka yung charge ng bank ng paghingi mo ng bank certificate at bank statement. Sa akin, they charge me 100. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it na nagasto ko. But again, if you're planning to just submit through a travel agency, just go to the travel agency and submit this one. But you should know how much they charge for processing your visa. But if may plano kayong pumunta sa Cebu o gusto nyo kayo ang pupunta dito sa Cebu o gusto nyo dito mag-submit sa Cebu, kasi wala naman talagang masyadong nagsasubmit dito sa Cebu. Napakadali lang guys, wala masyadong tao. Kasi yung araw ng pag-submit ko guys, mga 5 lang kami andun sa South Korea Embassy dito sa Cebu. Siguro pinakamatagal na yung 1 oras ako nandun sa pag-apply ko ng visa, if I remember it right. At saka meron namang nag-replay doon na Korean show or yung Korean drama. So, hindi ka masyadong mabubore doon. Again, if taga Luzon ka o non-Cebu based, gusto mo mag-submit dito sa Cebu, pwede na pwede yan. Pero as for claiming, you should also come here to claim your passport, ma-deny ka man o ma-approve. If you decided to come here in Cebu and submit it yourself, so ito yung magiging steps. Pasok mo ng ano nga yung... Wait. Hey Google, where is the South Korea Embassy in Cebu located?
The address for Korean Consulate in Cebu is 12F China Bank Corporate Center, Samalu, Cebu City, 6000 Cebu.
Yeah. China Bank building pala yun. Anmutan ko. Parang C eh. C lang yun. So, China Bank building, 12th floor. By the way guys, dito sa Cebu, ang submission is 9 AM to 11 AM only. So, pag 12 na, hindi na sila magtatanggap. So, dapat andun ka na on or before 11 AM. Pero last call na nila yung 11 AM. So, I was there, I think, about at 10. That is Monday to Friday only. Walang Saturday, walang Sunday. Ngayon, pagpasok mo ng China Bank, tatanong sa'yo yung guard kung saan ka pumunta. Sabihin mo lang sa 12th floor South Korea Embassy. At saka they will ask you for your valid ID. Tapos maglalag ka sa book nila. Ilagay mo yung pangalan mo, yung oras na pumasok ka, o andun ka, at saka sign in. They will then give you a visitor's ID. Tapos punta ka sa elevator and then go to 12th floor. Sa 12th floor, pagharap mo, punta ka dito, which is right. May entrance dyan, at saka yun na agad ang South Korea Embassy. The guard will ask you kung anong gusto mong gawin doon. Sabihin mo lang, mag-apply ka ng visa, at saka they will ask for your phone. And sa yung phone ko, yung Huawei, Nova 5T, they covered this camera and this camera. But they did not realize na eto, camera din to. At saka eto, camera din to. Kasi hindi naman siya masyadong obvious. The purpose of it is that so you would not take pictures or videos sa loob ng embassy. After that, the card will give you a number. And then this one, remember this, make sure you arrange your documents according to the list. For example, since number 1 is application form, and then your passport photo must be on your application form. Your passport, pwedeng ganito. Example, ito yung documents. Ganito mo na lang para lahat ng documents mo nakaipit sa passport mo. Therefore, after na application form mo is yung bio page mo, photocopy ng bio page, and then photocopy ng OECD countries, and then so on and so forth. So, it's best na you arrange it na ahead para mas madali yung proseso at madali ka matapos. Kasi comparing to how fast I was done to the others, guys, may iba doon, wala application form. Parang hindi sila ready mag-apply ng South Korea tourist visa. At saka marami doon na hindi tinanggap kasi kulang nito, kulang dyan, kulang yung documents nila, so hindi tinanggap. So pagtawag sa akin sa number ko, tinignan niya lang, chinek niya lang yung number of papers ko, kung kompleto ba yung documents ko, kompleto naman. Kumuha siya ng papel at sinulatan niya, at saka binagay niya sa akin yun na papel. Doon nakalagay kung kailan ko makukuha yung passport ko, kung ilang days matatapos. At sinabi ko, okay na ma'am. And sabi niya, okay na. So, malis na ako. Yun lang, guys. So, ano nga pala yung sinubmit ko? As a freelancer, ano ang sinubmit ko doon? Of course, I submitted my application form with my photo, my passport, photocopy of my bio page. Wala akong OECD countries kasi yung China tsaka Hong Kong, hindi iyon OECD countries. COE or Certificate of Employment from my client. Bank certificate, bank statement, at saka letter of explanation. After na letter of explanation ko, kasi nag-mention ako sa letter ko, sa sinabi ko doon sa letter ko na as a proof of my income, I've attached my PayPal invoices that are paid already by my clients for the past 3 months. So after ng letter of explanation ko, doon ko nilagay yung mga 3 buwan na invoices na nabayaran ng mga clients ko. So kinabahan ako baka di niya tanggapin kasi di naman talaga required. Pero tinanggap naman niya kasi sinulat ko sa letter ko na may proof ako sa income ko. Kailan mo makukuha yung passport mo at malaman kung approve ka or denied yung visa mo? So dito sa Cebu, yung processing nila is 24 to 26 days. Working days. Hindi kasama yung weekend. So basically, about 1 month. Sa akin, nag-apply ako ng January 13, nakuha ako ng February 14. So you might ask, hindi ba malalaman bago yung date na makukuha mo yung passport mo na approve ka na or denied para makapag-book ka na, makapag-ready ka na, makapag-utang ka na. So, guys, malalaman nyo sa website na ito. Dito ko nalaman, guys, na approve na ako. Sinabihan ko yung mama ko. Ayan. Simple lang, punta kayo dito. As for me, nalaman ko na approve na ako 1 week before February 14. So, ayan. Kompleto na ang pag-apply natin ng South Korea tourist visa. You might ask, kailangan ba talaga pumunta mo na sa ibang bansa bago makapag-apply ng South Korea visa? Hindi naman siya necessary, hindi naman siya napaka-importante, hindi naman siya required, pero nakaka-help talaga siya na may pakita mo sa kanila. Talagang makatilang ang paa mo, pumupunta ka ng ibang bansa at saka umuwi ka talaga. So, sunod mo tanong, baka kailangan ba talaga malaki ang pera? Meron bang kailangan na amount na andun sa bangko? Sa akin, I think wala. Pero I think it's best na meron ka. At saka, or at least man lang may pakita mo na yung daily balance mo, yung average daily balance is meron talaga kaysa 0. Next question maybe is, meron ka bang suggested amount na budget per day para ipakita ko sa embassy na afford ko magpunta sa South Korea. So, I found out that people suggest na to have at least 10,000 budget per day. So, example, if 5 araw ka doon, dapat may 50,000 ka. If 3 days, 30,000. Pero hindi naman siya ibig sabihin na talagang dapat gastuhin mo yan na pera pagpunta mo sa Korea. And again, guys, if kahit isang documents na required nila, wala o hindi ka makasapag-submit, itry mong idaan sa letter of explanation mo. Explain mo lang kung bakit wala ka sa documents na yan. And please, guys, I am not a visa expert. This is not my job. Hindi ako nagtatrabaho bilang isang visa expert. I am simply sharing my experience, my knowledge on how I did it and sharing it to you guys para magawa niyo rin na kayo lang So, yun lang guys. So, I hope na nakatulong ito sa inyo. Kapag ready kayo sa paggala, pagkatapos ng lahat ng ito na nangyari sa buong mundo. So, question lang. Curious na ako. Saan kayong planong pumunta pagkatapos ng coronavirus? Let me know down in the comments below. And also, for those who wants to ask question, please, huwag kayong mahiya. Ayaw mo kaulaw na mag-comment sa ubos, sa comment section. Huwag kayong mahiya na mag-comment doon sa ubos. Huwag kayong mahiya na mag-comment sa ibaba, sa comment section. And that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for watching this video. See you guys next week, where I will talk about how to fill out the South Korea tourist visa application form. So please, if you would like to know more about that, please stay tuned, subscribe to this channel, like this video, give this video a thumbs up, like this video, and please share if you like to your friends who are planning to apply for a South Korea tourist visa. So, yun lang. Thank you guys for watching. Annyeong! So, some of you might be asking if yung visa ko ma-extend ba? As far as I know, I should reapply. So, I'll be going through this again! Coronavirus.